What's going on, guys? Thank you again for tuning in. On this episode of Diecast Emporium, I'm finally going to get around to doing a review on the Norscot Caterpillar 345B Series 2 material handler in 1 to 50 scale. I know, Justin, you asked me to do this months ago, and I kind of forgot about it. Sorry about that, buddy. But not going to forget about it now. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. So obviously the one you see in front of you is the tracked version, and that was the first release of this model back in 2001. But they also made a 345 W345, which obviously the W denoting that it's a wheeled version. And besides that, the really only difference between the two is the black grapple instead of the yellow grapple. So let's go ahead and get this thing open, take a closer look at it. As this model is in 1 to 50 scale, it's a rather big model. And I know when this first came out, a lot of people, myself included, wanted to get a second one and then have somebody make it into a 345 excavator. Unfortunately, things just never materialized, so all I did was just get this generic version, the regular version. But inside, there's this half sheet of paper that shows you how to fix the two implements, which are really, really simple. And I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. First time you take this thing out of the box, when you get yours, especially if you're getting this version, the Norscot version, you will be seeing how many times you can count, or how high you can count, I should say, in Roman numerals as you undo twist ties for hours and hours. But once you finally get everything out, you got the model and the magnet attachment. So let's go ahead and take a look at the material handler first. So the first thing to say, obviously, for its time, this was a pretty decent model. The graphics looked really, really good on it. They were very sharp. Here you can see the 345 MH label on here on the car body and counterweight. Again, for that time period, it captures the rounded off counterweight really, really well. You can see how wide the tracks would be on a machine like this. And obviously, if you look at the cab, it's very high compared to a standard excavator. Unfortunately, though, as you would expect, almost everything on here is plastic. The hydraulic lines up here are plastic. The hand and grab rails here are plastic. The cylinder rams are plastic. But that did allow for some decent functionality. Go ahead and zoom out a little bit. You can see that this machine had a pretty good range of motion. It can go pretty high. It can also get tucked in pretty low here. And also the grapple would open up nice and wide so that you can grab onto whatever you want to grab onto. However, the magnet right here is not a magnet. It's simply there for aesthetic looks. It is non-functional like the Tonkin Replicas one is. In fact, if you look really close on here, you can even see that it's just a plastic piece with a screw in the middle of it. So, I don't know if Diecast Masters, when they redo this version, I don't know if they're going to actually have a real working magnet, but that's something that I can check into if you guys want. Just know that this version, the original, the magnet was in fact not a magnet. But in terms of the orange grapple, orange peel grapple, obviously pretty nice looking piece. And you just attach the two by carefully removing one side from the little clip-on. This thing hasn't been tampered with in years, so it's going to fight me a little bit. But it just pops off just like that. You can see the two holes where it would slide on. There really isn't I should say, quick coupler function. Just these two little notches right here. So Justin and everybody else, there you go. This is the Norscot Caterpillar 345B material handler in 1 to 50 scale. A decent enough model. Not one that I would highly recommend in terms of today's latest models. If you're looking for a material handler, and you have to have a Cat 1, definitely the Tonkin Replicas. What is it, MH3049? That one's definitely a much better model. But to be quite honest, probably the best that are out there on the market, at least that I've seen, are definitely the Sennebogen ones. Plus, that Sennebogen green is a very, very attractive color. So be sure to check those out as well. So as always, guys, thank you for tuning into my videos, and I hope you have a great rest of your work week, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.